Good day, everyone. And now let's proceed to our discussion in the Nursing Research 1, which is the evidence-based practice. These are the table of contents to be discussed this session. We have the evidence, what are the types, level, and the pyramid. We talk about here also the evidence-based practice, and then the evidence-based nursing. And lastly, we talk about the research utilizations. Let's start with our discussion in terms of evidence. When we say evidence, uh, defined by Melnick and Pineout Overholt of 2015, refers to the collection of facts that are believed to be true. This means that not all information is automatically considered evidence. For facts to be accepted as true and reliable, they must come from the credible and trustworthy sources. So, such as reputable research institutions or peer-reviewed journals, and be supported by the rigorous scientific method, meaning they have been tested, validated, and verified through the process or through the proper research process. So in nursing and healthcare, using high quality evidence ensure that the decision and practices are safe, effective, and based on the best available of the knowledge. There are types of evidence according to the source. We have your internal evidence and we have your external evidence. In the internal evidence, we have generated within the healthcare setting through practice-based initiatives. So that is comes from the activities like your outcome management, quality improvement projects, clinical adjust, and then they uses patient data and institutional experiences to improve the care processes and outcomes. So for example, mga anak, tracking hospital infection rates to assess the impact of hand hygiene protocol. So that is an example of internal evidence. Okay, we have your external evidence that is generated through formal research studies that is conducted outside the location, outside the local practice setting. So based on the scientific investigations and usually published in a peer-reviewed journal. So includes evidence from randomized controlled trials, systematic reviews and meta-analysis, and clinical guidelines. Okay? So example natin dito is using published research on the best practices for managing diabetes to guide patients and care. So both the types of evidence are essential for evidence-based practice and should be used together to make the informed clinical decisions. Okay, so this is the hierarchy of evidence. When we say hierarchy of evidence is often represented as a pyramid. So showing the strength or quality of the different types of evidence used in the clinical decision making. So as you move up to the pyramid, the evidence base or the evidence become more reliable and scientifically rigorous. So here are the simplified explanation. For example, in the expert opinion and case report, that is the lowest level based on the personal experiences or single patient cases. Okay, so that is help but not always reliable for general decision making. Okay, and then we have your case control and cohort studies. So this is observational studies that follow patient over time or compare those with conditions to those without. And then we have your randomized controlled trials. That is, participants are randomly assigned to group to test the effectiveness of the intervention. So considered strong evidence due to the reduced bias. Okay? And then we have your systematic reviews and meta-analysis, which is the highest level. Kung makikita nyo, that is the combinations or combined result from the multiple RCTs or studies. So that is provide the most comprehensive and trustworthy evidence by summarizing findings across multiple sources. Okay? So ang pinaka-key point natin dito, the higher you go in the hierarchy, the stronger and more reliable the evidence become for guiding evidence-based practice. Okay? Okay, evidence-based practice. Evidence-based practice is the integration of the best available research evidence with clinical expertise and patients' values and needs to provide high quality of care. So it relies on solid, up-to-date research to guide decisions, and it ensures the patient's care is safe, effective, and tailored to individual situations. So evidence-based practice involves not just knowing what works, but also applying it in a real-life settings while considering the preferences of our patients and their families. Ang pinaka-goal kasi natin dito mga anak is to improve the health outcomes, promote the efficiency, and support the patient-centered care. This is the evidence-based practice triads. Okay, so yung triad na ito consists of three core components that work together to guide the clinical decision making. So best available research evidence. Okay, it starts with derived from well-designed and rigorous conducted research studies. So example here, we have the systematic review and clinical trials. And then we have your provide scientifically validated informations on interventions, treatment, and outcomes. So that is for nurses' clinical expertise and research skills. In terms of clinical expertise or best available clinical evidence, the clinicians accumulated knowledge, skills, and past experiences. So it involves here using your critical thinking and judgment in applying evidence to individual patient's care. And the third one, we have the patient's values and expectations. So ito yung patient values or preferences. So this is incorporates the beliefs, concerns, expectations, and cultural backgrounds of our patients. So here we ensures care is personalized and respect individuals' needs and circumstances. So, yun. So, in summary mga anak, this trial ensure care is scientifically sound, clinically relevant, and patient-centered. Patient-centered. There are 5 steps of EBP process. Here we have your number 1, we have your formulate of clinical questions. So yung clinical question natin, kung makikita nyo on your screen, we use the PICOT. We have the patients and population problem, we have interventions, comparison, outcome, and time. So we use the PICOT framework to structure your question clearly. For example, in the patients and populations, or who is the patients or populations of the interest. So it includes, example, we have the age, conditions or the settings. And next one, we have your intervention of interest. So what is the main intervention or treatment being considered? Yan naman yung tinatanong natin. And then we have letter C, comparison of intervention, that is asking what is the alternative to the intervention. So example, placebo or standard care. And then we have your outcome. In the outcome, what are the expected results or effects? Okay? And lastly, we have your T, which is the time target, that is over what time period is the outcome to be expected. So example mga anak no, in elderly patients with hypertensions, that is the patients, okay, does daily aerobic exercises, that is her interventions, and then your comparison of intervention, that is compared to no exercise, and then the outcome is reduce the blood pressure, and then the time is within 6 months. So to sum it up, in elderly patient with hypertensions, does daily aerobic exercise compared to no exercise reduce blood pressure within 6 months. So that is an example of a formulate of clinical questions using the PICOT. The number two, we have the best evidence or search for the best evidence. So we need to locate the most relevant and high quality research. Example, the systematic review or the RCTs or clinical guidelines. So using the database like the uh, PubMed, ganyan. So we need to gather the best evidences to answer our clinical questions. And after that, we have your critical appraisal. So we need to critically appraise the evidence. So we need to evaluate the validity, reliability, and applicability of the evidences. And usually we ask here, is the research well conducted, or are the results trustworthy, or it can be applied to our patients? So that is for your critical appraisal. Okay, and then we have your fourth one, we have your evidence and nurse practice. So ito na po yung applying the evidence to practice. So there is a combinations, the best available evidence with clinical expertise and patients' values and preferences to implement the appropriate care. And lastly, we have the evaluate. So we need to evaluate the outcomes. So we need to assess the effectiveness and efficiency of the intervention. So pwede nating tanungin, did the desired outcomes occur? Were the patient's need met, or modify the practice as needed based on the results? So using the 5-step ABP process, mga anak, that is promotes high-quality patient-centered care supported by sound scientific evidence. Okay, these are the guide to evidence-based practice in nursing. So here is the summary of 7 guide models for evidence-based nursing practice, each serving as the framework to help our nurses integrate research findings into the clinical decision making. So we have your Stetler model of research utilization. So that is focuses on individual practitioner using the research to make informed decisions in clinical settings. So dito mga anak, in-emphasize yung critical thinking and step-by-step applications of evidence into practice. Okay. So number 2, we have your IOAWA model of research in practice, that is a design for healthcare organizations to implement the evidence-based practice. So begins with identifying the triggers or the problem or knowledge focus to address the clinical issue. And here we need to encourage the team-based decision making, pilot testing, and evaluation of the outcomes. And then we have the third one, we have the Rogers theory of diffusion of innovations. So here naman, explain how new ideas like research finding is spread and are adopted in a social system. So yon. And then this is a useful in understanding how nurses accept or resist change. Okay, we have your Ottawa model of research use. Ito naman emphasize the contextual factors that influence research utilizations. Okay, and promotes a barrier assessment and tailored strategies to support the implementations. And then we have your evidence-based multidisciplinary practice model. So this is encourage interdisciplinary collaboration. So collaborations of the nurses, doctor, or therapists to integrate the research into the shared decisions making. And also here, focus on a patient-centered care and coordinate with the implementations across the professions. And we have the model of change of evidence-based practice. So this is guides the nurses through the change process to incorporate evidence into practice. Okay, and lastly, we have the Center of Advanced Nursing Practice Model. So this model emphasizes the clinical expertise, patient preferences, and research evidence as a central to practice. So it highlights the role of advanced practice of the practice nurses. So this model guides and support the translation of research into safe, effective, and evidence informed nursing care. So among the 7 models for evidence-based nursing practice, there are only 3 have gained general and widespread acceptance in nursing and healthcare settings due to their practical applications and adaptability. So isa-isa natin, we have the Stettler model of research socialization, we have Iowa model of research in practice, and Rogers theory of diffusions of innovations. In number one, we have the Stettler model of research utilizations. Ang purpose natin dito na is to guide individual practitioner in critically thinking about and applying research in clinical decision making. Yun yung purpose niya. At ang pinaka-strength niya kasi dito na is to emphasize step by step of evidence at the bedsides. So from preparation, validations, comparative evaluations, decision making, application or translation, and evaluations. So, yun yung kwan ni Stettler model of research utilizations. And now, let's proceed to IOWA model of evidence-based practice. So, ang purpose naman nito is to provide a systematic method for healthcare organizations to implement the evidence-based practice. At ang pinaka-strength nito is that is highly structured and encourage collaborations and feedback. So kung makikita nyo ang key elements natin dito, that is the problem or knowledge that is focused trigger. And then interdisciplinary theme, appraisal of relevant research, piloting and evaluating practice change. Yan. And then yung our model natin of evidence practice, the process often begin with identifying the trigger that signals the needs for change in practice. So these triggers are classified into two major groups. We have your knowledge-focused trigger and problem-focused trigger. Kapag sinabi nating knowledge-focused trigger, these arise from the new or updated informations that suggest a better way of delivering care. So yung sources natin dito include journal and articles and recent research findings, pwede yung clinical practice guidelines or evidence presented at a scientific conference, and continuing education or professional training. So this trigger are typically raise awareness about potential improvements in patients' outcome or care processes. So ang example natin dito sa knowledge-focused trigger mga anak is a nurse reads a new guideline recommending shorter IV catheter dwell times to reduce infection risk. So that is knowledge-focused trigger. And yung problem-focused trigger naman natin mga anak, this stem from identifying the existing issues or inefficiencies in practice. So ang sources included natin dito, the quality improvement data, incidents or safety reports, patient or staff feedback, financial reviews, clinical observations or audits. So these triggers highlights areas needing improvement in patient care, workflow, or outcomes. So ang pinaka-example natin dito, an increase in pressure ulcer in a unit leads staff to explore evidence-based prevention strategies. Yan, that is problem-focused trigger. So both types of triggers plays a crucial role in initiating the evidence-based change process and ensuring that practice evolves based on either the emergence of new evidence or the recognition of practice-related problems. And then the third one, we have the Rogers theory of diffusion of innovation. So ang pinaka-purpose natin dito is to explain how innovations are communicated and adapted within a social system over time. Ang pinaka-strength niya dito, this is useful in understanding resistance or acceptance to new practices among nurses. So may stages siya ng adaptation na, which is yung decision in the innovation process. We have the knowledge, persuasions, decisions, implementations, confirmations. So these models are most common use in nursing practice because they are comprehensive, evidence-driven, and support both individual and organizational change. Okay, these are the example of evidence-based practice. For example, in number one, we have EINC, that is Essential Intrapartum and Newborn Care. That is a policy basis of the Department of Health, Administrative Order 2009-0025. So ang feature nito na kasi is a time-bound research-based protocol to improve outcomes for mothers and newborns. So, ang key intervention dito kasi yung immediate and thorough drying, early skin-to-skin contact, delayed cord clamping, non-separation of mother and baby, and early initiations of breastfeeding. So, ang naging outcome nito is the significant reductions in neonatal deaths and complications. Another example of EBP, we have your infection control, which is hand hygiene or hand washing. So, ang pinaka-future dito yung hand washing with soap or use of alcohol-based rub reduce healthcare associated infections. So, based ito sa WHO at saka CDC guidelines that supported by numerous clinical trials and systematic reviews. So, ang naging outcome naman nito, it prevents cross-contaminations and protects patients and staff. Another example, we have your fall prevention or Morse fall risk or assessment scale. So, ang pinaka-feature nito is the pulse risk assessment tools. And then the non-slip footwear and bed alarms and environmental safety checks. So, this research supports multiple studies show the structured fall prevention protocols to reduce fall incidents in older adults and hospitalized patients. So, ang pinaka-outcome nito is decrease in injuries, fractures, and length of hospital stays. And last one, we have your safe blood administration. So yung pinaka-feature nito is verifying patient's identity, cross-matching, monitoring for transfusion reactions, and following transfusion guidelines. So the guidelines is coming from the World Health Organization and the American Association of Blood Banks. So ang pinaka-outcome nito is reduction in transfusion errors, hemolytic reactions, and morbidity. So these examples demonstrate how evidence-based practice integrates clinical expertise, the best available evidence, and patients' needs to improve healthcare outcomes. And then we have your evidence-based nursing naman tayo. When we say evidence-based nursing is an consensus use of valid and relevant research based on the evidence in making decisions about nursing care. So it involves the integration of the best current evidence, clinical expertise, and patient values and preferences to guide nursing practice. So nurses are encouraged to adopt practice that are supported by strong evidence. Conversely, mga anak, they are urged to abandon outdated or unsupported practices that lack empirical validation. So this approach ensure that patient care is very effective, safe, and aligned with the latest advancement in healthcare research. And then research utilization. Pag sinabi nating research utilization is the process of disseminating, applying, and integrating research-generated knowledge into clinical nursing practice. So it aims to facilitate transfer of evidence-based innovation into the real-world care, promote purposeful application of research finding to improve patient outcomes and nursing practices. However, there are challenges persist. For example, many research findings do not reach their intended users, such as the nurses or patients. Knowledge and innovation from nursing research often remain underutilized due to limited dissemination resources, unclear goals or target for applications, and there is also a barriers in translating research into practice. So these are the topics that to be discussed in the nursing evidence-based practice. So thank you for listening.